Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. On today's show, I got a letter, and this letter comes from someone who has followed my channel for at least, I don't know how long, but quite some time. And they basically are just asking me to clarify something. So let me read what they wrote. And actually, this is a message through YouTube, not or a comment through YouTube. It's not a letter. Uh, Hey, it would seem that you feel every Farang Thai working girl union will fail. But I do know some have lasted 5+ years and still going strong. The Thai girl moved to the Farang's home country. They have two little ones, and they're happily married. I personally know of 2 cases like this. The Farangs live in Europe. I know the odds may not be short, but there are cases where it works out. I am not saying they will stay together forever, but that applies in all cases. Am I misreading you? Yes, definitely. Okay. I always say that there's the golden rule. Now, I didn't make this rule up. I may have made it up in the way that I say it is my way of saying it, but this rule has been a rule that men who have some experience here have been using or saying that other men should follow for many, many years. Longer than I've been here, longer than I probably know. And that rule, that golden rule, is do not get emotionally involved with a bar girl. Now, the reason that I say that, let me get to the nitty gritty here. Many guys who come to the country, they're coming on a holiday. They're not expats. Let me tell you something. If I wasn't married and I happened to be in a go-go bar or a beer bar, and I met some girl, and for whatever reason, I got to know her, and something was exceptional. Would I be with her? In my case, probably no. I would not. Okay? And the reason is because I have a problem personally with, and I know it could be hypocritical, you can call it what you want, but I don't want a girl who has sold her body. That's not what I want. I don't want a woman who sells her body for money. I can say that I understand it, but personally, I think it's better for me in my own life if I would get somebody who is a little bit educated or who is educated or who works in a different profession. I have a hard time getting over the fact that what the woman is doing, or women, whatever, that people get involved with in these bars, what the women do is basically they take guys and they accept their bodily fluids for money. And I have a problem with women being my woman. She's my woman, and she's got all kinds of other guys' bodily fluids in, on, and around her. That's my own thing. I don't say that it has to be for everybody, but what I do say is this. That aside, if you think that going to a prostitute to find your wife, who ought to be somebody very, very special, ask yourself this question. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, America, UK, wherever it might be, would you go to a brothel in your own country and say, you know what, she's a nice girl, I think I'm going to marry her? Especially if you've only known her for a week or two. I think the majority of people would say, no, they won't. Now, it's up to you. You do what you want. But what I'm saying is, for new guys coming here especially, it's hard enough to understand the country a little bit and to be able to go into the bars and have a great time. And I mean, it's pretty simple to go into the bars and have a great time. But if you want to get involved in some kind of a relationship, it's hard enough getting involved with somebody here, dealing with maybe it's a long-distance relationship. Maybe you're only here for a limited time. Maybe you don't live here, or you don't know the girl very well, or you don't know the language very well. And then you throw into the mix that the girl is a prostitute. And I think it is well, this person says that the odds may not be short. Well, the odds are extremely long, in my opinion. And I know many, many people who have either been screwed over or did not understand the relationship and what it entailed, and it ultimately failed. And they were very, very unhappy with how the relationship panned out. Now, that's not to say that you get involved with some regular chick who works at a bank or a hotel or whatever, and things won't end the same. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I think you're behind the eight ball if you start out trying to hook up and marry some girl who is a prostitute. And I think that for guys, especially new guys who don't know the scene, I think it's an intelligent decision to either have your fun with them, have a great time with them, be nice to them. There's nothing wrong with all that. And then say, see you later. Maybe I'll see you later. Or hey, maybe next time I'll come see you again. But you don't have to, oh my God, I'm in love with her. She's different. She's not different. In most cases, she's not different. Now, I just saw a video yesterday, and some of you people who watch this, my channel regularly may know who he is. His name is Tim Sharkey. I just watched his video about, I think it was having to do with land and buying land here, and how when you buy land here, a lot of guys, what they do is they get their wife to buy the land. And he went into a discussion, he got into the discussion of the one guy who I made a video talking about this guy. I forget the name. I think the name of it was My Thai Bride, the documentary. But my video, I'll put the link up top. It's My Thai Wife Scams, 10 things you shouldn't do with Thai women, or you should know about Thai women, or something like that. Now, he goes on to talk about how this guy comes over, he meets a girl, the girl treats him really, really well. He's not used to this. The girl treats him excellently. He's sitting there going, oh my God, she's good looking, she treats me good, and I think I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. Oh my God. So he goes back to the UK. He starts thinking about her. He can't get his mind off of her. He's basically obsessed with this woman. He's calling her. I think he was sending her money also. And eventually, you know, she's telling him, oh, I love you, sweetie. I love you, honey. Oh, yes, my love. So what does he do? He sells everything he has. He moves back over here. And he basically says to her, I want to marry you. Now, Tim Sharkey is a smart guy. He's no dummy, okay? He's been here a long time. He knows the ropes, just like I do. He's not married, and I believe that's probably by choice. Now, I'm married, and that is by choice, and 99% of the time, I'm very happy with my wife. I love my wife. I don't think my wife would do anything to harm me, or I wouldn't be with her. And we have 2 great kids, and I'm happy with my life. This guy that we're talking about in the film, he said, oh, I want to marry you. What does he do? He gives the girl all his money, barely knows her, buys land in her name, and eventually, when she had everything she could suck out of him, she got tired of him. She's like, what do I need you anymore? I got my pig farm. Hey, you know, she's thinking she's ruthless. She's absolutely brutal with him. She's like, hey, what do I need you for anymore? She can't even stand the guy. So everything that she did was basically a ruse. And she got all his money. She got the land. She got the pig farm that she wanted. She controlled all the money. He had none left. The only money that they had was money generated from, I guess, the pig farm. And she wasn't about to give that money up because she already had all his money. Now, he was an idiot. He was an idiot. Okay? First of all, another rule is don't give any more than you can afford to lose. Well, he gave everything he had, and then he was left basically penniless. And he had to beg for her to give him airfare back to the UK. Now, as Tim Sharkey astutely noted, this guy went up there and he's trying to buy land. He gives her everything he has. And then basically she just walked away from him. She said, fuck off. I got a kid. I got this. I got that. I got to take care of my family. And you, what do you got to offer me now? You ain't got shit. Because she was the one who handled the pig farm. So when I say that I think it's a good idea, what I was going to say is he says, don't get involved with these girls and go up north and go, meet their family and do all this shit. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say you better fucking know them for quite some time. And you know what? They are willing to play the long game. You may be going back home and you're thinking about her, dreaming of her, and oh my God, the last time we had sex was so wonderful, and oh my God, I love her so much, and she's taking your calls. Okay. Hey, yes, I love you, honey. And I'm here to tell you that when I first came here and started living here, for the first couple of years, I was with women, working women. I would be sleeping with them. Well, I wasn't sleeping. We would be in the act, and the phone would ring, and sometimes I would stop and say, go ahead, get the phone, because I knew what was the deal. So she'd be on the phone. Yes, honey, I love you. Oh, yes, come on, baby. No, I know work bar. No. No, I don't have nobody. I love only you. I love you only. Yes. Please, my darling. Please, I want sleep. The girl hangs up the phone. Yes, I love him. I love his money. Now, I'm not going to say that this is all women who work in bars. It's definitely not. But for a guy coming here who doesn't know shit about Shinola, how's he ever going to figure out if the girl's lying or not? If he's not really a sharp dude. If he's a guy with a very little experience, he's never been to Asia, never been to Thailand. In some cases, some of these guys have never been out of their own country. They've never even been out of their own city. And they decide to go to Thailand. Wow, man, it's my dream place. My buddy just came back here. He said it was awesome. Full moon party, yeah, Pattaya, woohoo. And then they go. And this is evidenced by all the letters that I have received. And I remember one letter from a guy who was in Pattaya, and he was running out of money. He had been there like 3 months. He'd been running out of money. And the girl says, oh, don't worry, you can stay with me. And I think it was Koh Chang. Now, he was like, yeah, okay, I will stay with you for a little while, and then I will go to UK, and I will try to get you back to come over there, and then we will get married, and then I'm trying to get her pregnant, and I'm thinking to myself, the fucking guy, he's just getting into a relationship. You know what? I'm sorry for saying fucking. I was going to try to abide by my mother's wishes and not say a swear word in this video. Excuse me, let me try to beep that out or something. But the guy just came here. He really barely knew her. And, what does he do? Oh my God, it's love. I want to get her pregnant and have my babies. Dude, wake up to the reality. And this is reality that Thai people know. Thai people will never, they're not going to speak openly like me and say, hey, at least if they don't know you, most of the time they are not going to speak like this. The bottom line is they're going to say, this person, they're uneducated. They may be sharp. And in some cases, some guy said to me the other day, oh yeah, some of them they go to university. Okay, yeah, some of them do. And some of them lie through their teeth and say that they are. Or that they were, they were going through and they didn't have any more money, so this is what they did. And that's not really how it works here. They usually end up in foreign establishments. They usually end up there because of either laziness or apathy or they're looking for the big score. And you can say that, oh, well, they're poor, and, how can you fault them? I don't fault them. What I'm saying is, if you want to be a smart dude, why are you going to want to be with a girl like that? Why don't you want a girl who wants you for you? She wants you because When she met you, she thought you were really cute. When she met you or when she meets you, she thinks you got something special about you. Okay? Now, my wife tells me now I'm an old man. But when she met me, I was cute. And I was intelligent. And I could talk to her and I knew how to speak to her. I knew a way that made her feel comfortable. So instead of saying, oh, let's see, I got to take care of this girl. She can't take care of herself. And, or she's working in a bar. That's how she takes care of herself. But she's different. She's not all like the others. And then I got a message yesterday or day before yesterday. I can't remember when. A guy said, listen, this guy's in his 60s. The chick's like 25. I'm trying to tell him, dude, she only wants your money. And he just bought her like close to a 5 million baht house. He blew 5 million baht on her. That shows you the power of the vagina. This is not necessarily a Thai thing. I don't fault Thai women for this at all. Now, I fault the Thai women who basically deceive the men in order to get them to fork over the money. But, listen, there's a sucker born every minute. In some cases, there are women and they are trying to be decent women, and the men are trying to do right by them, and the relationship just doesn't work out. Now, I understand that happens with people who are dealing with women who are not prostitutes, of course. But I think if you start out coming over here, and what happens is most men go to the bars because the women there speak English, and a lot of men come here for a holiday. They don't always want to come for a holiday for, say, 2 weeks or a month. And they meet some Thai girl, and they're like, oh, man, she's hot. Oh, look at the body on her. Oh, my God. And they don't want to have to deal with, I want to know you for a long time. I'm a good girl. I'm not going to have sex with you on the first or second night. They don't want to deal with that. Let's face facts. Guys come over and they're like, wow, look at this chick. She's smoking hot. And he's like going, oh, man, I've been here a week and I haven't got laid yet. It's like, Now, I just was talking to a couple of guys the other day, and these guys are proponents of being happier abroad. Okay? They are trying to hook up with regular girls and go out with them and establish relationships and have sex with them. But the bottom line is, most women here in Thailand, they don't look at the man and go, oh, man, I got to get down his pants. Whew, this guy's he's a real hunk. I'm going to sleep with him right now. I mean, does it happen? Of course. I'm generalizing for conversation purposes, for discussion purposes. Of course it happens sometimes. Yes. Now, are the majority of guys that hot looking and good looking that the women are going to go, oh my God, I don't care what I've learned. I don't care about my culture. I've only had one boyfriend in my life, but I am going to nail this guy tonight. Come on. Face facts, gentlemen. Okay, so when I say that I think the golden rule, my golden rule, I know my golden rule, but I think that this rule should apply to men coming over here. There's a reason why. Love is often blind. And for the blind man who walks into a go-go bar or a beer bar and he meets up with the wrong kind of woman, and there are a lot of them there because those women need something that he has. If my saying that rule over and over again prevents women from taking advantage of men, or making, not even that, but making the men wake up and realize, hey, this might not be the wisest idea. This woman, she likes me because I am paying her for her time. Now, she might actually genuinely like you, but start telling the woman, no, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not paying your bar fine. I'm not paying anything. I just want to hang out with you. Now, some of them will hang out with you because they probably figure either you're going to give them money eventually, or they might really like you. But you know what? That happens very, very seldomly. That seldom happens, excuse me. Sometimes my brain doesn't work in the right order. That's why it's easier to write than it is to speak, at least for me. And speaking of writing, go to my bookstore. Here's the link. My little store on my website at anamericaninbangkok.com. You'll see a link. It says store. They got my book in there. They call me Farang. And there's a couple of other books dealing with, living abroad and that kind of thing, which I think are pretty good. They're a good value. They're only a couple of bucks. I mean, so, for the cheapskates out there, if you ain't got three bucks to spend on a book, or $5 or $10, you probably shouldn't even be thinking about coming to Thailand. I mean, that's the way it works. And, I've changed my website around for those of you who care. And one thing that I wrote on there is that if you have all these questions, you might want to think that if you really want to talk to somebody who knows about life here, whether it's me or anybody else, don't be cheap. Don't think that paying $50 or $75 or $100 or whatever it might cost you isn't worth it. Because you're spending, think about it, a lot of guys are spending $700, $1,000, $1,500 US dollars just to get here. And then if they're staying here for 3 weeks, they're spending, let's say $50 a night for 15 is what, $215, $50 a night times 15 is $750. You spend another $750 just on the hotel. Then you go out. If you're a big drinker, you're blowing a bunch of cash. So don't be cheap about that. Don't be cheap. If you want to learn a little bit, buy a book, whether it's my books in my bookstore or someone else's books, or get a consultation. Personally, I'm a pretty straightforward guy, and I try to make everything worthwhile. I understand there is a value to the dollar, and the reason is because I'm not filthy rich. Okay, I'm not dirt poor, and you know what? I shouldn't have to be. So that's another little piece of advice there. But all in all, I don't want to slam on any working girls for what they try to do. And I do acknowledge that there are quite a few relationships that have worked. Of course. But I would say that if one works, 50 or 100 are not working. And I think that percentage is a lot lower than if you were just to be with a regular woman who doesn't work in a pay-for-play establishment. So that's my opinion, and I know everybody might not agree with it. And please, if you have a wife who is a bar girl, or you used to be, I always get these messages from guys. Yeah, I used to be married to this bar girl. She was fantastic, and everything was so good, and she was a great girl. And well, then why aren't you still married? Maybe because the guy didn't know how to deal with her, or the guy ran out of money, or the guy couldn't get along with her, or they just couldn't get along, whatever reason. Maybe it had nothing to do with her previously working in a bar, who knows. But, yeah, I mean, now you know my take on it. So, that's all I got. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di la jerkin mai.